Hey, it's Deborah Atkins. I'm flipping 50 and I'm here with this how do you burn more fat without causing hormone imbalance answer. Because that is the biggest challenge, right? There are lots of ways to burn fat. You can Google anything and say, okay, how do I burn the most fat? What exercises burn the most fat? But if you're a woman in perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopause, the rules are different. Because if you've got hormone imbalances, depending on what they are, and your signs and your symptoms tell you what they are, or they tell me what yours are, you can actually put yourself into worse hormone balance, and then your fat burning methods may backfire, making you feel worse and making your body store fat. So here's what they are, so that you can do it well, easily, and not be exhausted. Number one, short interval training. So we all get carried away. We think interval training is the best of the best, and so we tend to do it longer or we tend to do it more days. Don't do that. Short interval training, 1 or 2 times a week. 1 if you're starting. There's always time to add that next one. Or twice a week. Even Olympic and elite athletes do it that way. Trust me, this I know. And no more than 20 or 25 minutes a piece, so that you have a total of no more than 45 minutes a week. That's interval training. Now, here's the key. Your interval training has to be intense enough. So if you're not breathless at the end of an interval, it's really not a fat burning interval. So that was number 1. You've got to include a short warm up and cool down, by the way. Number 2, short strength training to fatigue twice a week. 2 times, not once, not 3, 2 times, all right? So that's how we stay out of trouble. We don't do so much volume of exercise that we put our hormones in imbalance, but we get adequate benefits. We get the strength, we get the endurance, we get the power, we get the stamina, we get the tone, we get the arms, girlfriend, by twice a week. Reach fatigue though at the end of every set. So I've seen some crazy things in the last couple of days. I've reviewed a lot of videos, not necessarily targeting women in our age group, but not targeting anybody, so anybody might be watching them, that have said some crazy things unrelated to science. But just because it works for a 20-year-old doesn't mean it's going to work for us, okay? So twice strength training, but make it short, make it sweet. You're going to do 3 to 5 exercises, and that may be enough for you. Do them 2 or 3 or even 4 sets, but progress to that. Over weeks, it may take a couple of months to be there, but you'll start seeing results right away. Because if you're just coming off the couch or just getting started or restarted, you got lots of room for improvement. So you've got those 2. Interval training, once or twice a week. Short duration, 20 to 25 minutes. And there's a theme here. The second tip, short strength training. Twice a week, short duration. You're only going to do 3 to 5 exercises, but you're going to do them to fatigue really well and then be done. Number 3 is exercise intensely in a fasted state if you can. And here's the if you can is if you feel good doing that. So overnight, and then if you exercise in the morning and you can do it before breakfast, you may burn a little bit more fat than otherwise. However, if you don't feel good doing that, and if you notice you can't put out as much energy, you're just not putting out as much effort during your workout, you'll probably do better eating than not eating. So let you be your guide. Don't read a magazine, don't listen to what your girlfriend does. Pay attention to what makes you feel the best. If you feel by any means shaky, you get sweaty and then cold, that's a blood sugar issue. So you probably need to eat something and make sure it's the right thing. Here's what's right. If it's going to be cardio, high intensity, a little bit more carbohydrate. If it's going to be strength training or it's going to be low intensity exercise, a little bit more protein, a little bit more fat. Okay? So if you're going for a hike, you're going to have nuts and seeds. If you're going to do something like high interval training, either jogging or walking or using the elliptical super fast, you're going to want to make sure you've got some gluten-free toast if that's your jam, or half of a banana, and maybe a little bit of fat and protein to slow down the absorption. And that's it. Number 4, you're going to try Matcha tea before those intervals and that intense exercise. Because if it's in your bloodstream about 60 minutes before you start your exercise program, studies show you're going to increase your fat burning by 29% afterward. Now, interval training, we already know, has a higher fat burning percent to it after exercise anyway. You're going to increase it that much more if you have Matcha tea. That's MATCHA. It's green tea leaf powdered. And if you have that instead of coffee, you'll get the alertness without the anxiety that coffee might bring. Good tip. Number 5, add short, medium, and longer, low intensity exercise throughout your week to complete your twice a week, no more than that interval training, and your twice a week strength training, so that you get lots of movement every day. So even though it's not the highest of intensity, balancing your hormones means your body will tend to release weight and fat weight that it doesn't want to carry anyway because it's more effort. Those are your 5 tips. Here they are again, real quick. Short interval training once or twice a week, no more than 20 or 25 minutes a piece because you don't want any more than 45 minutes total a week. Number 2, short strength training to fatigue. So don't just pick up those weights and then put them down at the end of 10 or 15 repetitions if you're not yet tired. Make sure you get to fatigue. Number 3, exercise intensely in a fasted state in the morning if you can and you feel good doing that. If you don't, eat a little something, because the more energetic and the more energy output you have in that session, the more it's going to pay off in the long run. Number 4, Matcha tea before intense workout. So you can do that iced or you can do it warm instead of your coffee. Either way works. Get it into your bloodstream about 60 minutes before you want to start that workout, and it will help boost your fat burning by 29%. Number 5 is add short, medium, and long, low intensity exercise. Take the dog around around the block for 20 minutes. Go for a long hike for an hour and a half. As long as you love it and you're enjoying it, you're helping your fat burning and you're decreasing your cortisol, which also helps your fat burning. If that was helpful, like it, subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and I'll see you on the flip side.